sweet Libra, this is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. This video is going to be a monthly Tarotscope for Libra for the middle of January, January 15th to February 15th. I'm doing things a little bit differently. This is the first time I'm doing a mid-month to mid-month. I had been doing some personal traveling right around the beginning of the year, so I didn't get the January Libra Tarotscopes up. So I'm doing something a little different, and I'm going to do a mid-month for both you and Sagittarius. And I kind of like it because it's lining up with the lunar cycles. There is a new moon on January 16th in Capricorn, which is your 4th house, Libra. And that's the house of home, of parenting, of things that relate to nurturing and the home. So it's a wonderful time to begin something new, to plant some new seeds regarding your home. Maybe it's a time to begin a new garden for this spring and summer, or maybe it's a good time to begin an addition onto your home, or someone new is coming into your home, whether that be a child or a roommate or someone who's helping you in the house. Basically, new moons are wonderful times to initiate and begin things. So anything new having to do with the home, it's a wonderful time to begin that, Libra, right here in the middle of January, even if it means like redecorating or bringing in something new, new plants, just new energy into the home of some sort. And then you can watch that as you nurture and develop that. You can watch the results come to you over the course of the next 6 months, and you might have some nice results by the time we see the full moon in Capricorn 6 months from now. Also, there's a lot of planets in Capricorn right now, so it's a real time of structure. Real time of getting serious about something. For some of you, this may be purchasing a new home. You know, it may be adding a new foundation or putting in new supports for, say, a roof or walls or something like that. You know, Capricorn really represents structure and stability, and I always think of Capricorn as like putting one brick upon another. It's really the steady, sure-footed goat that climbs the mountain and achieves goals and stability through consistent effort over time. So think about, you know, with all these planets in Capricorn in your 4th house, think about what it is that you would like stability in regarding your home, or how to stabilize your home. What is it that you would like to pour a foundation for? That's Saturn energy, which is in its home placement of Capricorn right now. You know, what is it that will stabilize your home for you? What is it that is strong, structure, lasting, you know, sure-footed foundations? This new moon in Capricorn is right in alignment with Saturn in Capricorn, and it's a real opportunity to invite in stability, structure, something that's going to be lasting or permanent or reliable, steady, consistent in terms of your home. Then, so it's actually a wonderful time to be purchasing a home, Libra, if that's something that you're thinking about doing, or adding on an addition, doing refurbishing, adding any kind of structure. Then at the end of the month, January 31st, we have the 2nd full moon of the month. We had a full moon at the beginning of the month, January 1st. That was in Cancer. And the 2nd full moon is going to be on the 31st. Anytime we have 2 full moons in a month, the 2nd one is considered a blue moon. So I usually say do something that you don't usually do. You know how you say once in a blue moon I do this? It's a good time to do something that you don't normally do. And because full moons are about releasing, completing, illumination, it's when something comes to fruition. With that being in Leo, that's in your 11th house, which is the house of networking, of friends, of your outer communities. So I see some of you releasing some old friends, maybe letting go of some social structures that no longer serve you, or some of you may be leaving groups that you don't choose to participate in anymore, or which have sort of served their function in terms of your life, and you may be exiting certain social groups or networks, and or that time may be that area may be illuminated for you. So full moon in Leo, which is a very social, gregarious sign. You've got this full moon in 11th house, the house of the audience, the house of friendship, the house of others, of humanity, of science, of innovation. Something's coming to illumination and completion. You may just feel like you've really arrived in the group that you feel comfortable in. For some of you, it may be letting go of others, but it's also a great time to work on any marketing or any networking that you want to out in the world, because it's illuminated for you, 11th house, in this very social Leo sign. So that's going on for you at the end of the month. Sorry, it's the end of this month, but the middle of this reading. So that's January 31st. And then middle of February, you have a new moon in Aquarius on the 15th. And that's in your 5th house of true love and romance, Libra. So, and of creativity. So right around January 15th is a wonderful time to begin something that has to do with a new phase or cycle of your relationship. If you're currently in one, you may find your love deepening. Or it's a great time to meet someone new, a romantic interest, love interest, partnership, or begin a new project, a new creative project, something that you've been wanting to do for a while. 5th house, true love, romance, creativity, all those Leo themes. So really good time to begin something new during that time of that new moon in new moon in Aquarius. In your 5th house, traditionally ruled by Leo. And you'll see some nice results from that, Libra, by the time we get the full moon in Aquarius 6 months later. So I'm excited for you. I'd love to hear from you, Librans, 6 months from now, and see what it is that you've begun during this new moon in Aquarius, middle of February. Right around Valentine's Day, by the way. So let's see what's coming up for Libra for the last 2 weeks of January and the first 2 weeks of February. Okay, Ace of Swords in reverse. Is there some truth that's being revealed to you that you're trying not to see, or that you're not ready to see? This is really interesting with 2 of Coins and Page of Coins looking at one another. Okay, really some themes about balance, Libra, which is really what you are about in general. I'm seeing Temperance, which can often, I'm reading this as compromise. I'm seeing the need to compromise on something. And this is 2 of Coins, which is about balance and flexibility. So I'm really seeing flexibility, especially regarding money or tangible matters, things that have to do with practicality, budget, functioning, logistics, all that earth energy. There may be something that you know internally, but that you're not ready to admit to yourself. This is Ace of Swords, which is a new beginning, a new thought, a new revelation. It's usually clarity and truth. Ace of Swords is usually the beginning of a new thought, a new way of thinking that cuts through to the heart of the matter. It clears out all the noise, all the extraneous things, all the haziness, any confusion. Ace of Swords is the card of triumphant clarity. It's the Excalibur sword, and it represents the truth with a capital T. And it's usually the truth that will set you free. And when this shows up, it represents being in alignment with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, clarity, revelation. In the reverse, it says that you know something, or a truth is available to you, but you're trying not to hear it. You're trying not to see it. You're not ready to let that truth in. When I see Ace of Swords, I always think of the phrase, I'm trying not to hear that. I'm trying not to see that. What is it, Libra, that maybe you're not ready to see? Or that maybe maybe you're ready to see one side of it, but you're not ready to see the other side of it. This is Two of Coins, which means balance, being flexible, being adaptive, adapting to changing circumstances, rolling with things. And Page of Coins really likes to have things planned out ahead. Page of Coins is all about, budgeting, doing the work, being willing to show up to do the work. And Two of Coins is about being flexible. Sometimes this is joint finances. And I really see with both Two of Coins and Temperance here, seeing things from both sides, being willing to compromise, being willing to see someone else's truth as well as your own. So I see with Page of Coins a willingness to do the work, and I am seeing a need for willingness to show up, to do the work, to put the effort in is really what Page of Coins says, but also a willingness to be flexible and adaptable. And that's also Temperance. Temperance finds the middle road, the middle path, what two hearts combine to create this one liquid, this one fluid. That's what this triangle on Temperance's chest is about, is creating a third stable way from the combining of two forces. Often in this card we see the roses and the lilies combined, or blood and water, blood and milk. It's really combining of two opposite forces to create a third thing. And it's a real card of peace and harmony and stability. So you Librans do find stability in balance and equilibrium. It's really part of your character and your personality. And it may require, at the end of January here, a willingness, Page of Coins, to put in the work and be flexible and adaptable, especially as regards to logistics, practicality, money, things that have to do with your values, all of that. That's what I'm really seeing. And that will be a feather in your cap. It's really interesting how these both have the same red hat here with the feather. I'm almost seeing like a painter here, or someone who's just using what they have in their hands and being willing to put the work in and finding balance with it. So I see good things for you. Both Temperance and Ace of Swords are very good cards. And it's just a matter of finding the balance in all the logistics, being willing to be flexible and adaptable to what's in front of you, and being willing to put the hard work in. Let's see what's coming up as we approach into February for you, Libra. We've got some air signs, some sword stuff going on. Interesting, some 5 and 7 energy, and then the Hermit in reverse. So as we turn from January to February, 5 of Swords and 7 of Swords aren't the easiest energies. It means like someone trying to get ahead by any means necessary. This card is often called open dishonor, and this card is called hidden dishonor. So it can mean like doing someone is around you, or this is your energy where they're doing whatever it takes to get ahead, and they're not caring about how it affects you. 5 of Swords, I usually call picking up the pieces, which means looking at a battlefield that has occurred already and collecting the insights that are left on the battlefield. So when I see this in reverse, I'm wondering, Libra, what is it that you could still collect from any past conflict? Are there swords and remnants and spoils left out on a battlefield of an old conflict that you have yet to collect? When I see this card, swords represent air, which is your element, Libra, and swords represent knowledge, wisdom, insight, clarity. I'm really seeing this as related to this because this is a sword in reverse as well. And what it's telling me is that there's a crucial or a critical insight that is available to you that you're not seeing, or that you're not processing, that you're not collecting, that could be very beneficial. So I'd like you to consider towards the end of January to look onto your past and look at like some areas that may have been of conflict and see, okay, well, what do I know now? What are the seeds of wisdom and insight? What are the figurative swords that are still laying out on that battlefield that I can collect that provide me with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, clarity, this new aha moment that I can take with me forward to, present me with balance and clarity and flexibility, especially in the things that I'm doing, in the things that I have at my disposal, the things that I own. That's really like a gift that's sitting there waiting for you. It looks like maybe a bad thing or a difficult thing, but there are, I sometimes look at this card as a card of silver linings in a dark cloud. Even if there was someone who is behaving selfishly or not caring, or, I sometimes see this as the Clint Eastwood fistful of dollars, like he's just gonna make out like a bandit at others' expense. But in the realm of conflict and battle, there's usually, those swords are left out on the battlefield. There's knowledge and wisdom and insight to be gained if you go over that battlefield. And this just in reverse tells me that maybe you haven't collected all the pieces, you haven't picked up all the pieces that are available to you that can give you really great insight and clarity. And then I also see the Seven of Swords guy in reverse. So this usually means hidden dishonor, someone trying to get away with something, someone being very me centered, cutting corners, feeling like the ends justify the means. It's really like a fear-based and a lack-based card. So I'm going to invite you to transform this energy into this energy, which is self-assertion. This is somebody, I just want to contrast these two different cards. These are both sevens. This is Seven of Swords, Seven of Air, and this is Seven of Wands, which is Seven of Fire. The Seven of Swords personality, these are like two different aspects of, or two different opportunities of the same person. This is someone who believes that things are scarce, that they're not going to be able to cover their bases, that they have to steal from others in order to gain what they need, that they have to cover, look out for number one and cover themselves because there's just not enough to go around. It's really that kind of energy. Whereas this person stands up for what they believe and they say, no, I know this is mine. I'm willing to fight for this openly. This person does it in like a hidden criminal, or what's the word I'm looking for? I'm getting the word rapscallion, but that's not quite it. Renegade. This is a great risk-taking card, and sometimes this card is called putting your head in the tiger's mouth. It's really like a gambler card, gambling type energy. Like, I'm going to take this risk, and I'm going to go for this no matter what the consequences are, It's sort of like Grand Theft Auto. It's like, I don't care what the consequences are. I'm just going to do this because it's like risk versus reward card. Whereas this card is much stronger, much more courageous. It's saying, I'm willing to stand up and fight for what I believe in. I'm willing to assert myself at any cost. But it's taking a positive stance. Instead of like acting like a mouse and trying to get away with what you can, but underneath the scenes and underneath the surface, this one is saying, I'm courageous. I'm in an advantageous position. Even sometimes this card is called success despite adversity. And what it means is that even within challenges, it's not running away from something. It's standing up to it and saying, this is what I believe. I'm courageous. I'm self-asserting. I am going to openly declare that this is worth fighting for, and therefore you become a leader to others. Or if these others are challenging you and in conflict with you, you have the upper hand, you have the upper position. So what I'm seeing, interestingly, Libra, with this card, kind of head to head with this card, and sevens are spiritual numbers. So it's sort of like a spiritual choice. Do I want to run away, or do I want to stand up for what I believe in? I really see this as like going underground or standing up at the top of the hill. Like, are you going to just kind of take what you can get or what's offered to you, or are you going to stand up and say, this is mine? This is what I believe in. This is what I believe to be true. Even if it means you standing on your own. Because Hermit in reverse is the isolationist. He's looking for the truth. But there could be fears of being by yourself when this shows up, especially if it's surrounding this, which might imply that if you kind of are afraid of asserting yourself because of what it might lead to. You're afraid of that it might make you on your own, that it might make you feel isolated. So I'm going to encourage you, Libra, with these are challenging energies, 5 of Swords and 7 of Swords. It really, you know, what's going on in both of those is there's some sort of dishonor. There's some sort of someone not caring, someone just caring about themselves is really a theme in both of these. Now, whether that's you or someone else, I'm going to encourage you to stand up for what it is that you think and believe, because there's insights that are available to you by doing that. And particularly as you reflect upon past conflicts or an old battleground, look for the swords of insight, the ideas, the thoughts, the wisdom that may just be laying out on the field from past conflicts that is available to you as a revelation, as an aha moment, as the truth that cuts through everything, that gives you clarity, because it's really going to help you with all the strength that you have, standing up for yourself, finding the middle ground, finding the balance, being flexible and adaptable, being willing to put in the work and the effort. Don't allow fears of you being on your own, not wanting to see the truth. That's what's going on in both of these cards here. Don't let that stymie you, because there's a chance that you might feel ripped off if you allow that to happen. But I don't see that happening. I see you standing up for what you believe in. It's just going to be sort of a spiritual choice here of whether you're going to allow yourself to feel ripped off or whether you're going to say, no, I'm standing up for this. I'm fighting for this. I'm asserting myself. That's what's going on in the cards here. And then we also have Judgment in reverse, another major arcana, usually having to do with forgiveness. It might be hard for you to forgive someone or move on from the past. It's also related. It's really interesting with these 3 cards. There's some theme of, and this may have to do with the air sign person, Libra, Aquarius, you know, this could be you, Libra, in reverse, or it could be an Aquarius or a Gemini. But gosh, this is really interesting. You could be having a hard time forgiving yourself about something, or forgiving another air sign person, or someone who fits a King of Swords archetype. This is usually someone who is like a professor or a lawyer, or someone who is very sharp and keen-witted, has a relationship with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, someone who's very educated. So you may be having a hard time forgiving someone like that, especially as it reflects them or you having very me behavior, looking out for themselves. And I see that there may be a trust issue, or there may be a way in which you're not fully allowing yourself to look at the truth. What's really going to help you in this situation, Libra, and maybe turn you back right side up if this is you, is employing forgiveness, letting go of the past. There's real insight and wisdom with looking at the past and seeing what is available from that. I know I've said this probably like 3 times already in this reading, but the Ace of Swords is really, it's a new beginning. All aces are new beginnings, and this is a new realization. It's really, I always say with this card, the truth will set you free, and this is a real aha moment, and it can really take you forward. This trumpet here in Judgment represents the spiritual fire of forgiveness that burns away all the stories of the old and the dead. This is old karma, old family issues. You know, these people are dead and gone. So it can be old family karma, old family baggage, old stories. This is letting that go and receiving new life through this insight that I really see you collecting and gaining from reflecting upon old conflicts from the past. I'm really seeing a lot of these old people here who are gray, old stories. This is new, fresh energy, Libra, and I'm going to say let this in. The fact that it's in reverse tells me either you're not seeing it, or that you don't have it, or that you're not believing in it that's really actually what I'm getting the most, that it's a beginning of a new, fresh beginning, because it's really there. And it's really going to make you supple and flexible and adaptable. It's going to give you a lot of balance, Libra. So look into that, especially if it's having to do with forgiving someone who may have been self-centered, or another air sign, or someone who fits the archetype of King of Swords. It's really going to serve you. Let's see what else comes up. Yeah, Queen of Swords, that's you, Libra, for sure. And especially if you're in a relationship with two air signs, this has to do with you speaking your truth, being willing to put in the effort, being willing to stand up for what you believe in, being willing to use your words to define your boundaries. That's what she's about. She's really clear in her thinking and her speech. This is someone who doesn't mince words. She's like, I know what I mean. I say what I mean. I can be very direct. I can be cutting if necessary, but I'm super clear, and I'm super, you know where you stand at all moments with me, because I say exactly what I mean. And therefore she lives in this garden of roses, because I think it was Mahatma Gandhi who said, peace is when our thoughts and our actions and our words all match. She embodies that. So standing up for what you believe in, Libra, really important. Using forgiveness. I'm seeing a head-to-head battle with an air sign and you, Libra. Or it could be with someone who fits the archetype of King of Swords. You know, there's a battle of authority here. But what I'm also seeing is that forgiveness, even if you're having a hard time releasing ghosts of the past or old baggage or old karma, if someone has been self-centered, that's what's surrounding this, forgiveness. You may have to speak your mind, but also realize that there's a new wisdom, insight, beginning, clarity, truth, revelation that's going to set you free from this. And it's really almost like digging through the past and seeing, well, what did I learn from that old battle? It's really, you've come to a place of great authority over yourself and power and strength and clarity. You know, say it, speak it. And really, if you're having difficulty moving on from the past or moving on with forgiveness, look at what's going on here. Collect those swords that are sitting out on the battlefield. King of Coins in reverse has to do with, again, authority. There's two kings surround, whether you're male or female, Libra, there's two kings surrounding you here. I'm really reading you as this upright queen, which is battle of authority. It may be that older people in your family, the elders, you know, this could be a husband, a lover, a wife, a parent, someone in authority positions that are challenging your authority, but you're really clear and you're upright. And you're saying, you know, I am in alignment with the truth. By the end of the month, this sinks in. You receive that truth and you embody it because you're carrying it. So whatever it is in the beginning of the month that seems to want to be coming in, a new idea, a new thought, by the end of the month, you get it. And you stand really strong and really clear with it. Standing up for what you believe in. Even if people who are normally reliable with these kings are not acting like that. You know, this is King of Coins, King of the Resources. This is the King of Thought, King of Swords. But you know where you're at by the middle of February. And I just want you to embody Queen of Swords and speak really clearly and defend your boundaries. That's what this is all about. Stand up for what you believe in. I encourage you to allow your thoughts, your actions, and your words to all be in alignment, because that's also where this temperance comes in, this balance, this peace, this harmony. And there may be some soul searching you need to do to forgive either yourself or someone else. I'm seeing another air sign or earth sign. So, and by the beginning of that new moon in Aquarius in your 5th house, Libra, middle of February, right on time for Valentine's Day, you know, there's new love or new beginning in terms of a love relationship. So if you're relating to this or this, it's a really good time to sort of clear out the old clutter of the past in order to make room for something new, this new beginning. So that's my reading for you, Libra, for mid-January through mid-February. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for your patience with your reading. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put those below. I love responding to those. If you'd like to also book a reading with me, you're welcome to do that. I'll have my email below. It's readingsbygwendolyn@gmail.com, and then I'll send you a link to book the reading. And as always, I just want to thank everyone so much for watching. Yours in the stars.